Running those trot lines, stretching that poly. Catch 'em, catfish Charlie. Catch those fish, here's what you do. Set those hooks with a trick or two. You gotta go late, not too early. If you need help, call Catfish Charlie. Catch 'em, catfish Charlie. Find him in his boat or cooking at a party. Running those trot lines, stretching that poly. Catch 'em, catfish Charlie. Catch 'em, catfish Charlie. Find him in his boat or cooking at a party.
Up in the Delta now?
I was up in the Delta.
I thought you went clean past the Delta.
Well, it's
you're pretty close right in there, huh?
I am in the Delta, yes.
Okay.
Sunflower Management Area, Panther Swamp, that area.
Really?
Holly Bluff, Rogan Fork, all in there, where the water was.
Somebody went up there and made up them names, didn't they?
I guess they did, but we got to share with a lot of folks. I was very interested in talking to different ones about the population of the deer, where the water, the high water had an effect on the deer for as losing deer and or game period. And I have really come to the conclusion, when you see deer standing on a levee in green grass, and you see the rib cage, they're not starving to death. They have CWD disease. That's chronic waste disease. So I'm afraid that what I think is that the water got blamed for a lot of deaths that was not water. They said, oh, the deer are starving to death. A deer don't starve to death standing in green grass. I got news for you. You had a bad case of CWD disease, and they're trying to put most of that on water. Far as the population of deer that I hunted and I looked and I walked. In fact, I went one place and walked 2.5 miles in and 2.5 miles out on a trail that Sunflower had closed. And in fact, Sunflower off trails is closed in Sunflower, so you can't. If you're gonna go up and ride a four-wheeler or side-by-side into Sunflower areas on their trails, they are all closed. Now, whether they'll open them up for gun season, I do not know. But right now, is when I was up there, they was closed, and I heard nothing about them reopening them. But anyway, I walked in, and it was probably 3 days after a rain, and I found plenty of deer sign. I talked to people that had hunted. Some said they saw nothing. Some said they saw a lot. So I talked to one of the game officers up there, which was Bart. He might be listening to us this morning. I hope he is. But anyway, he said, all I can go on is what I hear from the hunters. And so he said, I see deer. He said, I'm not seeing as many on the levees right now. And in order to cover that is, before the first frost and everything's green in the woods, you know, they don't actually have to go out to the levee to get green grass or green stuff. Briars, all that's still living in the woods, so why would they walk 3 miles to a levee to eat green stuff when they got it right in their bed? So, and a lot of people don't realize that before the frost, they don't have to go nowhere to feed. And if there's no one in the woods, they don't stir a lot. So you got to understand, if you didn't see something while you was there, or didn't see a lot, that might be because you have nobody in the woods stirring them up. So it's a lot. There's a lot to it, but I'm saying I'm taking up for the water because I don't think the water killed as many deer as the CWD disease did. And I'm thinking it's the water's getting blamed a lot on CWD disease. And and again, there's still plenty of game there. The trails I seen and the crossings across the roads was eat up, tore up, fresh after the rain. So I'm saying if the disease killed a lot of them, it wasn't enough, really, I don't think, to make a difference. So that's my report.
All right.
So
You're done with your report.
I guess,
All
till I think of something else.
We're going to a commercial then.
All right, let's go.
A couple of years ago, I think we went over to Bass Pro Shop.
We did?
They got Christmas decorations at Bass Pro Shop.
I know.
Lights look like shotgun shells.
I know, all that good old stuff, man.
The only thing that saved us that day was we didn't have no extra money, and we just had to leave them sitting there.
Yeah. I got. I never did take my red nose off of my deer mount there in the living room. I told the kids that was Rudolph. He's not pulling the sleigh. He's hanging on my wall, and they wouldn't go for that. So.
No presents this year.
No presents this year, y'all.
I hear you, but I don't know what else.
But I can guarantee you one thing: Grandma gonna take care of that, whether Rudolph's pulling the sleigh or not.
All right, we need to take a minute on the Catfish Charlie show today and talk about As the Chair Turns.
Oh yeah, we got to do that.
We saw Josh up there today, still all sad about not having a woman, but goofy at the same time. So I don't know what to say about that.
Well,
he had a doctor in the chair. I can't remember his name now, but he's the only one that delivers babies in all Lucedale.
Yeah.
And so
I'm gonna have to start carrying something with me. Write these names down.
Good to see him as well. If there's only one doctor and he's the only one that delivers babies, I'm sure somebody out there will know who that is.
That's right. But when we get through with you through with the chair turns yet?
I guess we are if you're moving on.
Well, I mean,
It's your show.
I'm
What
waiting
do you
on
want to
you.
do?
I don't want to take Josh's wife away from him.
Well,
but if you're interested, call Josh.
there you go.
At the barber shop. But anyway, I did a little, not a little fishing. I was going to fish while I was there, but the day after we got there, it came a big rain and got the river, Sunflower Rivers up, and I guess it was washing all that silt out of all of them bottomlands or something because it was muddy.
Well, imagine.
And so we didn't get to fish any. We did get the squirrel hunt a little. I killed my limit of squirrels, one. I got one last year and one this year.
I saw more roadkill than that while you was gone.
I'm going to have to stick to fishing instead of hunting, I think. But anyway, we didn't get to fish, but we did. I got a friend up there. It's been fishing 9 Mile Lake, and a lot of you guys, if you listen to it, it's been up there. You know where 9 Mile Lake is, and it's a private lake though. It's not public. But anyway, they was fishing with jigs, and he every time he went, he caught his limit, and he said he threw back. I mean, multitudes. Just he was dragging jigs.
White perch.
White perch,
Yeah.
crappie.
Yeah, it's that time of year.
Yeah, it's that time of year. If you're going to do crappie, they are really getting on with it. So, but anyway, we, in fact, he had filleted out about 5 pounds of white perch fillets, and he brought them over, and we cooked all of them up, and with some potatoes and onions, like always, cooked for the benefits, and we wound up 3 of us. We just about eat that whole thing. So they was good now. But anyway, we talked to one man. He was fishing in the canal of Panther Swamp, Actually, it's where the bow cuts out of the canal and goes around. He was fishing right there at the spillway he was catching channel cat just right to lay in the pan, buddy. And I mean, he caught 3 while we was talking to him. And I said, man, this is making me hungry. I got to go. So, but anyway, the crappie is biting, so it don't have to be in the Delta. It can be here. So if you got a fishing story or a bow hunting story or a squirrel hunting story, give us a call here at WRBE. We'd be glad to talk with you. We'd like to know more about what's going on in the woods and on the lakes. Amen and amen.
You remember this number? 601? Come on.
947-8151.
He said that number off to me today, and I was in shock. I didn't know he had ever memorized the number.
Well, I had a week to sit in a tree.
That's what it was. He's up there sitting in that tree. I'm gonna know that radio station number by the time I get back down there. Good Lord, it's no wonder you didn't see nothing. You was up there trying to memorize.
Man,
things.
I tell you what, though, if you got a front coming in, it's like the fish, and only the squirrels go and hide after they get full. So one evening we was seeing squirrels everywhere. They was dropping acorns on our head, and next morning we was out there before daylight. They didn't come back out. We saw one little old squirrel piece.
I guess
they's getting ready for that bad weather coming.
They done gathered up all them nuts.
That's right.
And done, what do you say, nestled in for the winter?
We talked to a squirrel hunter up there. He said, believe me, that's helped me a bunch of times. So, but that's what it is. They go in and they don't come out till after that front's moved over and everything's cleared out. So just remember that if you squirrel hunt. And I love to squirrel hunt.
I know. We just got to find you some squirrels somewhere.
I guess we might have to go talk to Brother Charles.
What's them old crazy squirrels I see around here from time to time?
Crazy.
They look like monkeys or something. You know the ones I'm talking about?
You need to get some glasses, boy.
You told me about them where they just run. They're so dumb they come up to you. Why you?
Oh, that's our red squirrel here. Yeah.
That's just a plain old red squirrel?
It's a red squirrel, but they're not like the red squirrels you have in the Delta.
Got monkey faces. I'm telling
yeah,
you.
they got the black nose, white face, the black ears. Yeah. And I've got one mounted in my house. In fact, they're beautiful, but they where a normal squirrel run up a tree, we get in a call. He'll hide from you, but they just sit up on the side of the tree and look at you like, who are you?
Hey, you got the Catfish Charlie show.
Running those trot lines, stretching that poly. Catch 'em, Catfish Charlie. To catch those fish, here's what you do. Set those hooks with a trick or two. You gotta go late, not too early. If you need help, call Catfish Charlie. Catch 'em, Catfish Charlie. Find him in his boat or cooking at a party. Running those trot lines, stretching that poly. Catch 'em, Catfish Charlie. Catch 'em, Catfish Charlie. Find him in his boat